Hey there, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to continue our adventures on this mid-70s Dodge Power Wagon. The original donor was a 74 and a 76, so we've got a 76 frame with a 74 running gear. Got the motor and transmission in. Next up is this heavy bastard, New Process 205. If you recall, when I took it out of the 74 to get it out, I had to do this to the crossmember. Didn't want to do it, but it was the only way I could get it out. I was kind of under a time crunch. So what I need to do is I need to take this piece, bolt it up to this, lift the whole thing up, get it in between the frame rails here. Let's see if I can get you a little better picture. There we go. So I'll get it mounted. Well, I'll get it lifted up between these two frame rails. Because of the width of that crossmember, I am relatively certain I'm going to have to probably clamp it in place, something like that, and then weld that seam, and then drill the holes and mount it so the holes have to go through. They don't come down like they did with this transmission crossmember. They go through the sides. So I'm going to have to drill holes for that there and here, and then I can get it mounted. Then I can go back and finish weld that crossmember. Might have to put some sort of a bracing in. I don't know. We're really going to play this by ear. So that is the next adventure. Let's get to it. So I cleaned up the crossmember. There were tabs that were welded on here by somebody in the past that came out, and I had to cut off. If you're familiar with when I took this apart, I'll put a link up there. But yeah, this was a real pain in the ass to get out. So I at least cleaned those up, but really the next order of business is to bolt this part onto the transfer case. I'm not going to put all of the mounts and everything specifically in place for two reasons. Number one, I don't have all of them, and number two, I'm going to have to drop this transfer case off of it once I get it up so I can finish weld it. But I'll bolt this onto the transfer case and then lift it up and then clamp the two pieces in place, try to do some measuring, figure out exactly where it goes, and then do some welding, drilling, bolting, that kind of thing. It has 8 of these. I only actually have 4, but it takes 8 of them. One goes in between the transfer case and the crossmember, and the other one goes on the other side of the crossmember, and then the bolt basically holds against it so that the transfer case is isolated completely from this crossmember. Okay, the next step is I need to lift this thing up and get it positioned. This is the original drive shaft, so this gives me the distance it needs to be between the input of the transfer case and the output of the transmission. This is about right. I'm going to actually bolt this in just so I can be certain. But interestingly, and I'll bring you over there, but it looks like at least one hole over here aligns with the this transfer case mount. So that at least helps me ensure that it's in the right spot. You can see it looks like this hole lines up. It's not large enough, but it's in the right spot. And then over here, that one looks like it's in the right spot. I think I just need to tip this whole thing this direction a little bit, which actually will bring this up, which will decrease that angle, which I'm good with. So I think I can open that hole up and that hole and bolt the top in. Then I can do the lower holes on that tab and that tab. Hopefully I'll get lucky and over here I'll have at least 2 holes to line up. I suspect this one and this one maybe. this is surprisingly close. I think if I get it where it's butted up and do some tack welding, I can adjust it with the hammer and get it to go together. I think I have it lined up pretty well here. So what I'm going to do is connect it right in here, and then here it's off just a hair. So once I connect it over here, then I can lift this back up, align it, and connect it there. Then weld it up. Then I gotta get underneath and weld it from the underside too, but it's a good start. Well, now I'll clean that up with the grinder and see how it looks. It doesn't look too bad to me. I could clean this up with the DA if I was really concerned, but you know, something's going to go on top of this. I think the cab. I still have a little cleanup here and over here to do. Then obviously I still need to weld the underside. Now I'm also not 100% confident in how strong that is compared to the base metal. I don't know, maybe it's the same, maybe it's stronger, I don't know. I'm considering maybe putting a gusset or something under here, or maybe a couple of ribs across it. I don't know. I'll come up with something. Once I finish welding this, I need to prep it and paint it. Then I need to order some more mounts for the upper side of the transfer case here. But really, it's installed. It's where it needs to be. So once I finish up here, then it'll be get some more drive shafts in, and then probably worry about a fuel tank. That's it for today. Thanks for watching.